You're watching Guude. You're watching Guude. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. And how was your marathon?
My marathon was good. Why do you think it is when you go to Seattle, you lose your voice? Do you think it's Seattle? Like, because it doesn't happen at other convention. It happens every time we go to PAX West, though.
Has it ever happened at other PAX?
Not
I think
that I'm
it
aware
did
of.
happen at PAX South once.
Huh.
I remember the very first time we played. What the hell's that card game called? Oh my god. No. Yes. What's the card game called? Poker. Solitaire. Every time we played Solitaire. No, the gaming card game that we have our deck of.
Super Fight.
Super Fight. The very first time we played Super Fight, I didn't have a voice. And that we definitely played at PAX South for the first time.
You mean like when we recorded it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know though. Like I think so. This time it's interesting because for those who don't know, I completely lost my voice at the marathon. And when I got back, not only does my whole family not have a voice, many people at the hospital, I mean employees, are sick and don't have voices.
Huh.
Even today, more people didn't have a voice, and they were like getting upset with other of their colleagues saying, "Look what you gave me." And I mean, it only brings me to one conclusion, and I don't know what it is. And I think we need to put out like a PSA on it or something.
It brings me to one conclusion that I don't have. What the hell did you just say?
No, one conclusion that we need to put out like a PSA or something like that for. But I didn't realize that this was happening. But apparently, so many people are drinking wig water. And it's amazing. I didn't know it was such like a widespread thing. That I was just doing it for the kids, but man, we got to get ahead of this wig water phenomenon.
For those that didn't see the marathon, would you please explain?
Oh, of course, the wig water phenomenon. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. I'm just saying. So when we're doing the Bobby Ross segment, the Bob
Did you
Ross
say Body
segment,
Ross?
Yes, Body Ross. Yep, that's his name, Body Ross. They call him that because he's his name's Ross, and he's got back in the late '80s, he was the body. Like the women loved him for his body. And I lifted all those paintbrushes. His arm was just like a beast. So,
Have you ever seen him beat the devil out of that brush? He is pretty strong.
Yeah, they call him Body Ross. So, anyways, during Body Ross, I went to put on the wig, and that was the second round, and it was after Guude had worn the wig to try to, channel the body into himself. And apparently Guude channeled hard, and he sweat a lot in the process of channeling. And so I went up to the camera and was saying how gross it was that I had to put this wig on because of how sweaty it was, and immediately like it was almost like she planned it the whole time. Aurelia was just like, what if I sieved water through that
No,
thing?
where did I was in the other room, but I was close enough to the couch that I could hear that. I heard
That's
y'all
exactly
talking.
like that's it came out of nowhere. It was just like, God, this is so sweaty, it's disgusting, I have to put it on. She was just like, what if I sieved water through that thing and made you drink it? How much would you charge for that for donations for the kids? And I was so like caught off guard. I was like, oh, $1,000 one-time donation, I would do that. And like almost immediately somebody was like, you promise? Done. Like it was.
That's such weird. The things that happen, like when Milby licked his foot that one year. Were you there at that late hour when Milby was licking his foot?
I remember. I don't know if I was there like as part of the center, but I remember hearing about it for sure. Whether I was, there at that time or it was just I got back later, but I remember hearing about it. I mean, in my opinion, it's one of those things that it really wasn't that terrible, but obviously it probably had negative impacts that I was not expecting. But it's stupid ways to raise money. Like, I'm okay with doing things that I don't think we're going to super negatively, permanently impact me. I will tell you, for a little bit, I was a little afraid that I was truly negatively impacted.
Did you think that that's what made you sick?
I knew it didn't.
As he calls.
I knew it didn't make me sick, but I thought it might have been a very big contributing factor to how bad it got.
And
the reason I don't think it didn't make me sick is because that morning I woke up, I had a sore throat.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew like something was happening. And now anymore, like the fact that, you know, my wife lost her voice, my wife's sister lost her voice, and like 3 different people at work today couldn't talk because they sounded exactly like I did. Now I'm not wondering if it was even impacting me at all, and it was just random coincidence, because obviously something's going around, at least in this area, that I probably had starting before I even left.
Right. It just hit you when you got there, basically.
Right. I will tell you. So, how were your plane rides home?
I fucking passed out and slept. Like I got, so I had to lay over in Salt Lake City. So me and you went to the airport together, and you took me to that cool lounge, which was okay.
Cool
you kept apologizing for it. You're like, I'm so sorry it sucks, and it was all right.
I felt bad. You took me to like the Delta Lounge before. It was all like beast, and this lounge was like looked beast, and then it was just like, hey, we're gonna not have coffee. We're gonna have this machine for coffee that says on it, no coffee, only hot water.
I mean, that didn't bother me because I would drink coffee, but it sucked for you. My favorite part was whenever there was this water container, and Jeff was like,
"Yeah, that's right."
He's like, "Hey, can I get some water?" And she like points at this container, and Jeff's like, "Yeah, it's empty." And she's like, "Oh, is there any in the cooler?" Because there was like this little drink cooler beside it where Jeff and I both had grabbed like a soda from. That's all there was to drink. And we're like, "No, there's no bottled water in there. It's all empty." And she's like, "Huh?" And then she grabs the container that the water goes in and goes, "It's okay." And she just leaves.
It's okay. And she didn't say anything else. She just said, "It's okay."
Yep, it's okay. And she didn't come with water after that. It was like, here's the water. It's okay. And just goodbye.
Well, and then when she finally did show up with the water later, she didn't bring any cups.
Oh yeah, I forgot she brought the water.
With it.
There was no way to actually get the water. It's here now. But
You're like, okay, I looked at it. I remember when she finally brought it out. And I was like, oh, finally she brought the water, but there's no cups over here. And Guude just goes, it's okay. It's okay. No, that lounge was. It's nice to get out of the hustle and bustle of the airport. It kind of was annoying because it was clear on the opposite side of the airport than my gate was. Though they have a really good subway system there, apparently, which I didn't know about. Though it only took me like 10 minutes total to get over to my gate from there.
Oh wow!
I had to go jump 2 different trains, but I mean, it was set up in like a really easy way to get to the other side of the airport from there. So
it was really convenient for me. Like that lounge
we like
couldn't have been yeah, it could have been a better spot, honestly. But yeah, I got on my plane there, and I fell asleep immediately. And I landed in Salt Lake City, and luckily I didn't have too far to go because I was hobbling, so that wasn't so bad. And I got on my plane at Salt Lake City, and then like right after I boarded, probably like 10 of us, maybe 20, had gone on, and the people just stopped coming on. And the stewardess is like, "So we've stopped the boarding process. Our plane's been delayed for an hour at the least because of the snow in Raleigh. If you want to get off, you can. If you don't want to get off, we're going to be sitting here for at least an hour before we start boarding again." And I was like...
Seems like he passed out.
Yeah, I was like, sweet. And I fucking went to sleep.
Nice.
So yeah,
nice.
I woke up in the air. I don't know when we actually took off. I was an hour late, so I think they must have got like, it must have just been that hour delay.
My flight was the strangest experience from a person standpoint. I can say the flight itself was absolutely like fine, like no issues with it. But it's one of those ones that, of course, they were announcing the entire time. We're looking for people to check their bags because this is a completely full flight. You know, we're going to run out of overhead space and, you know, all that same crap because now they charge you for, you know, overhead, for, you know, check baggage. Everybody wants to carry everything on. Right. So they announced this constantly. And I looked at my boarding pass, and amazingly, I was zone C instead of zone D. So I wasn't in the last zone. So I was like, sweet, I'm probably not going to, like, even be subject to having to try to get my bag checked, which is great. It's going to get me home way quicker. I don't have to go to baggage claim and wait for this thing. So I'm gonna go on with my bag as opposed to gate checking it, which is what I did to get there because I knew it was just going to be a pain in the ass and a hassle anyway because I was like the very last zone.
Right.
So finally I board and I'm the second to last row in the plane. So I'm way far in the back of the plane. And not only is it taking people an extremely long amount of time to board, I mean, it was just like, I feel like it was like 15 solid minutes of once I got in the plane until I got to the back of the plane because it was just taking people forever. And of course, I'm watching all these people, which always makes me mad. Open up the overhead, take their backpack off their back, throw their backpack in there, which is completely why you're running out of overhead space. That's supposed to go like on this under the seat in front of you. And then take their jacket and put their jackets up there and all this, everything you're not supposed to put up in the overhead, like everybody's doing. But so I finally get back to my spot. There's a spot right above me to put my bag. So I throw my bag up there. And there's two ladies sitting in these the seat that I'm going to sit in. And I'm the window seat. And I just pointed over to the window seat. And, you know, at this point, I can't talk very well. And I was just like, I'm right there, you know, because that's all I can really say. And this woman, she just goes,
Jeez.
She looks like all disheveled because she's like just situated. She's got her seatbelt on already.
And that's not even her seat, or she was in her seat, but you just need
Oh
to
no,
get
she was
past
in her seat. She was in the aisle seat,
Gotcha.
and her and the person in the middle seat both had their seatbelts on already. Had like all their stuff out in like a spread across their lap that they planned on using for like the plane ride.
Did they just think that no one was coming? Like, what the hell?
Well, I'm not even the last zone. I'm, you know, the second to last zone, and this woman just goes, of course you are.
Oh God!
And I was
Forgive me.
Just looked at her and like nodded. Well, I was like, I don't know what to say to this, and so I just nodded, like, yeah. And so it takes like a solid like 2 minutes to get her stuff all situated so she can stand up, and the person in the middle can stand up, and they can move out. So it looks like it's causing this like big scene, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know, this plane is full. Why are you sitting there and all like in the middle acting as if nobody's going to sit in the empty seat that's next to you? You know, they've announced it's full multiple times. Oh, by the way, I got the window seat when I was walking over there. I was able to change seats because remember I said I had a middle seat originally.
Right.
I was able to change seats on the way over to my gate, which was nice. So I get in, and I'm tired just like you. So I basically just immediately like lay against the window and pass out. And I'm out for probably a couple hours and wake up sometime in the middle of the plane ride. And I have not paid any attention to what's going on. And I just kind of wake up and I look around, and this woman next to me in the middle seat. I'm trying not to be an asshole, but she's got like a computer up just to a Word document with some like bulleted things on it. And I just kind of glanced at it, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this lady's writing because I'm bored on the plane now. I want to read what this lady's writing. No idea what it was. It was almost like it was a checklist of how she was going to approach like a first date with somebody or something. And it seriously said things on it like, talk about politics, question mark.
No.
Talk about weather, like question mark.
No. God, you should have helped her, Jeff.
I was like, this lady was in her like 60s. Like, it wasn't like she was, you know, she wasn't in the dating scene that I could have helped her with too much. But so that was funny enough to me. So either way, as the plane ride goes, I go in and out of consciousness of sleeping, and I never hear this woman next to me and the woman next to her like talk at all to each other the entire plane ride. Apparently they didn't know each other because when we landed, they were both thanking each other for keeping each other company during the plane ride. And it was good meeting you type of deal. But I'm like, okay, I was sleeping a lot, but that was weird because there was every time I was randomly up, it was just complete silence. And now they're thanking each other. But whatever. So I'm waiting to get out. And this woman, she starts getting her stuff out of the overhead, pulls down a bag, pulls down another bag, and then like pulls down a third bag, like the woman that was in the middle seat, and starts to walk off the plane. I walk up toward the front, and I hear this guy in the seat next to me go, "Oh, excuse me, miss, is that your bag? It might be my bag." And I'm pretty confident that it was a genuine mistake because she looked at it It was the laptop bag. She handed it to the guy and reached back up in the overhead and grabbed a very similar looking like laptop bag out of the top of the same thing. And he was like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. You know, all those bags look the same." And I was like, "Okay, it's kind of weird because they do look the same, but why also do you have 3 bags that you're,
Yeah, how the fuck does she carry on 3 bags? Like that is not right.
And that's what I was trying to I was not quite understanding how she's got these 3 bags, but nobody else is saying anything. And there's only like 10 of us left in the back of the plane because it's only where I'm in the back couple rows. And then she reaches up again and grabs a jacket out of the overhead, and she just grabs the jacket. As she had originally grabbed this bag that wasn't hers, gave it to the guy who it was when he said something, reached up, but she was about to walk off the plane with it. Reached up, grabbed this other bag, which seems like it could be hers and it just looked the same, but then deliberately went up and grabbed this other item that she hadn't grabbed in the first place.
Yeah.
And then she just stopped and she looked at me and goes, "Here you go," and just hands me this jacket.
What the fuck?
And I was looking at her, and she goes, "Yeah, here's the jacket." And I'm I just looked around at everybody else who was around me, and I was like, "Lady," and just saying this, of course, in my voice, I said, "Lady, this is not mine." But I said it in "Lady, this is not mine." I couldn't talk, so I just I was I don't know what to do right now. Are people thinking I'm stealing this jacket? What is going on right now? So I just casually made very obvious move that I put it back into the overhead compartment.
What the fuck?
And then I threw it in there, making sure everybody could see me throw it in there. And then I grabbed my bag out, and then I proceeded to walk off the plane.
That's weird.
I was like, who grabs something randomly out of the overhead? And when you realize it's not yours, you hand it to the person behind you arbitrarily and just walk away.
Here's this jacket I shouldn't have grabbed.
I guess you had a 1 in 10 chance it was mine because there wasn't that many of us left.
That's fucking weird.
I was just this lady's just, why are you handing me this jacket, lady? This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. I should have said, "Talk politics?" ?
So whatever I got on, I think it was the first flight. I think it was first flight. The guy the guy that was in the aisle. His wife was in front of him, and he asked me if I wanted on the aisle, and I was like, not at all. I was like, I'm going to sleep. But he was really cool about it. So my story's not anywhere near as cool as yours. He's like, "Okay, yeah, no, I get it." And I drank all my water bottle immediately that they give you, and whenever the stewardess come by.
Oh yeah, that water bottle that we all
listen
right away.
Don't talk to me.
The immediate water bottle.
Anyways, whenever stewardess asked if I wanted anything before we took off, I just want another water bottle. He's like, "Oh, you can have mine." And then the next guy that gets on is the guy that's sitting in the window beside his wife, and he asks him if they want to trade, and he says, "Yeah." And so meanwhile, I've already drank the water bottle that he let me have of his, and then the guy sits down because they traded seats, and he's like, "Is that my water?" I was like, "Well, kinda, but not really. It was his water. He's not gonna have it."
And then he was like, here's the jacket.
Yeah, here's the jacket. Yeah.
So he gave away somebody else's water.
Kinda. Because he just fucking moved and left me back here with this empty water bottle, or half empty.
Nice.
I was drinking it with the guys so what's up? Is that my water?
How did he know it was from that seat though, and it wasn't the one from your seat?
Well, because my empty water bottle was sitting there already. I had one empty water bottle, and I was drinking another one, and there weren't any other water bottles around.
That is kind of funny.
I had something weird happen too. You were talking about the whole book bag in the top or whatever. In the front of the plane, they don't say anything because there's only. I mean that I've never seen them tell someone they couldn't put their bags there though. Even if they weren't sitting in that area. And that happened on I don't remember which flight it was. One of my 2 flights. Someone started putting their bag in the overhead there, and the woman was like, "Excuse me, you can't put your luggage here." And he was like,
"The first class overhead?"
Yeah.
And no, I've definitely seen that before.
Really? Because I've sometimes seen whenever it gets full, they just start putting shit up there.
Oh well, maybe when it gets full, but I've definitely seen it when when people are boarding near the end and they know it looks like it's about to be full. So they'll just stop and realize that there's like an empty spot at the back of first class and those seats are all full. They'll start to put their bags up there and they'll be like, no, peasant.
Well, yeah, that's what happened. Like, the guy started putting his bag up
walking.
there, and the woman was like, "Excuse me, sir, you cannot do that. These people pay for that area." I was like, "Holy shit, she's so rude about it." Even.
Yeah, and it's really annoying too when you walk back and you realize that you got to put your overhead right above your seat, and it's just a bunch of fucking like oxygen tanks.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh, I can't even put my shit above my seat because there's oxygen tanks, and now I look like that ass taking up the spots over your seat, even though I'm not sitting there.
Right.
Oh man, one of these days this cough will go away completely.
I've had kind of a cough too since I got back, but I don't really feel sick at all, so I don't know. That makes me want to.
Yeah, you talk about the pleasures of first class with your water bottle right away. I will tell you, man, the pleasure of becoming a lounge person now is like amazing.
Do you think you would have
I've had
pursued
this
it if I
lounge-
hadn't have brought you to that Delta Lounge, or do you think that was like the turning point?
Well, it's funny because it just comes with my credit card.
Right.
I don't think I ever would have gone out of my way to find them because I didn't know what was in them. I literally thought like, I'll buy Guude.
That is absolutely awful. That is the worst possible place I could have died.
Where'd you die at?
In the spot where all our things go.
Oh, the spot where all our things go.
And then the water takes them away.
Oh, so, well, I mean, your stuff is probably safe then, right?
Oh, it's safe. It's being sorted as we speak.
So I probably shouldn't start adding to the fuss by throwing a bunch of extra stuff in there right now, is what you're saying.
I mean, I've put some stuff in there now. There's some stuff in there.
No, yeah, I don't know if I would have gone out of my way to find them because it's a perk on my credit card. It's not in here. You're not gonna get.
No, it's the
coming
next
out
one
here.
down. There's 3 of them now, by the way.
What?
Yeah, Brian told us that in Discord.
I didn't read Discord.
Mm-hmm. But there's another one about where we're at right now. Looks like some of my stuff didn't fall in the hole. And there's one at the very, very end as well. Yeah, I have a mix of things that didn't go straight to hell.
Yeah, but now knowing the wonders that they hold, I seek them, and I usually don't get lucky enough to travel somewhere that happens to have a lounge. And like BWI is one of the airports out here. Only the lounges in the D terminal, and the D and E terminals are separated from the A, B, and C terminals for some reason. It's a completely different security checkpoint, and I always fly out of A, B, or C because I think it's only like Alaskan and some other. What's the big one that's based out of Colorado?
I thought
airline.
I thought Alaska was up there actually. Well, I guess now it's not Colorado outside of Alaska, isn't it?
Probably.
I don't
It starts
know.
with like an F or a J. I don't remember.
I don't
what
know.
it is, but either way, that one is out of that gate as well. But it's a lot of the ones that they don't fly to the places I'm going to as much. So I'm usually not at the one in BWI, and then at DCA, there's no actual lounge it gets you access to. It's just some of the restaurants that'll get you some like money off at the restaurants. So I don't fly to many places that have a lounge access I can get to. Coincidentally, on this trip, every single airport I was at, I had lounge access to, including the one in LA, which was nice because I had just an hour layover over there. And you actually get to go to the Alaska lounge with the priority pass that I have, but only if it's not full. And it says that they'll put out a sign that said that will limit from priority pass people when the lounge gets too full. And the lady was going down the elevator with the sign right when I came up on the top and to go in. And I told the guy at the front, and I was like, I see the lady going down with the sign. And he was just like, it's all good, man. You're here before the sign's out. Go on in. And I was like, sweet.
That's nice. Did I tell you what happened with my lounge access?
I mean, I know you don't have it anymore.
Yeah, that's what happened. But I guess
okay. Cool story, bro.
I guess for anyone that hasn't heard the story, so my lounge access expired. I didn't realize it has expired. But I went into the Delta Lounge anyways when I got to the airport to see if I get some breakfast or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, it looks like your stuff's expired or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, well, damn." And she's like, don't worry about it. You can come in anyways. So it was real nice.
Oh, that was cool. So they still let you in for free.
Yeah. She did not tell me I could not go.
Just keep trying that.
Right. Well, I think I may have like messed her up a little bit because I was like, she's like, I was like, I haven't been flying as much this last year or whatever. So I wasn't really paying attention to when it expired or whatever. She's like, so who have you been flying with? You haven't been flying with us. And I'm like, I just haven't been traveling as much. It's going through divorce stuff. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's like, I just like took her totally off guard. And then she was like, well, you know what? You're my guest today.
I was going to walk up to Delta next time and be like, I recently got divorced. Can't come in. It's not true, but can I go in? Man, this cough. But you can tell my voice sounds way better. It's just not perfect yet.
Yeah, it does sound way better though. How were you on Tuesday?
Terrible. Today's the first day I can actually speak.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yesterday you could tell it wasn't like, but it was more of a, I could talk. If I talked really deep, it would come out okay. But you knew it was already on the way to betterment.
Right.
If that's a word I can use. So, problem is the kiddo's sick too.
He gets sick a lot. Does he go to daycare?
No, we just got the kid across the street he plays with. But he only gets sick when somebody else in the house is sick too.
Right. I guess you guys probably bring home more germs than I do, working in a hospital and stuff. So you guys probably expose him to more things that could get him sick.
Yeah, probably. And
that's probably good though. Like it probably like is helping his immune system for like whenever he goes to school, he probably won't be the kid that's always at home sick because the other kid's bringing shit in or whatever.
I mean, hopefully he's building up his immune system. And I guess I didn't realize it seems like it's that he gets sick a lot. Like the thing is, when I say he's sick too, he's been sick where he's had like a fever. I think it's only been twice, but he often, and by often I mean probably like 4 times in his life now. He's only 2, or not even 2 yet. But 4 times in his life he's got this. Right now it's this nasty cough, and it's just this wet hacking cough. Like you can tell there's something respiratory going on.
Right. I've been really lucky. Like my daughter's only been sick a few times. She had the flu last year. That was the first time she'd ever been sick, like in her life.
Really?
Yeah. She like as a baby, she never once got sick at all, which I think is just uncommon. Just got really lucky.
I like how I'm looking right now in my mind. And my mind is thinking Wigwater multiple times.
Well, we should probably close your mind for now. Be done with it.
Mind closed.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Well, I guess. See you.